नमस्कार साहब।
नमस्कार मैम।
कैसे हैं?
बस मैम ठीक है मैम। वी मे स्टार्ट मैम।
Yes, why not?
या प्लीज।
The should means who will initiate the?
या वी विल स्टार्ट।
Okay.
Very good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
A very good afternoon to all the esteemed persons or guests who have joined us online to witness today's book discussion titled book Anandam, authored by Madam Dr. Shuchi Sharma, who has been former Secretary of Fire and Technical and Sanskrit Education, Government of Rajasthan. So, Madam is very much present here. So, for the formal opening of the program, this book discussion today, I would request Director Faculty Development Cell, Dr. Amit Kumar Srivastava, for the welcome address, as well as to let us know what the book exactly is about and how it has been adopted by AICTE into its curriculum and syllabus. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tiwari. It's my honor and privilege to welcome Dr. Suchi Sharma, who is an author of the AICT book Anandam. On Anandam, the title of the book is Anandam. So, Madam has been associated with this particular project in the entire state of Rajasthan for a quite long time during her tenure as a secretary. And the experiences which have been evolved being a part of such an initiative has been reflected in this particular book. So I hope that this particular book is going to enrich the day-to-day understanding and awareness about number of issues. It's not related to any core particular area of the engineering, but it's overall it's related to the whatever which we are doing, whatever which we are feeling, and how to involve happiness in the during the overall course of action. We also welcome the different heads of institutions and the faculty members who are associated with part of today's program on the YouTube channel of AICT. In brief, I just want to share you the important initiative of the AICT and how AICT is helping the different institutions, especially in terms of providing resources for the technical books and other aspects also. So I'm just sharing the AICT e-Kumbh portal. So this portal was launched by the Honorable President of India in November 2022, and this is an excellent repository of the various resources related to the engineering educations and the technical books in the different languages. I request all the participants to kindly access the different books which are uploaded being a part of this particular portal. From engineering side also there are number of books from Python programming to data structure, and today book is also uploaded on this portal. I just want to show you that this particular book is this particular book. And so far, I mean, large number of faculty members and students and other stakeholders has shown lots of interest in this particular book. It has been downloaded 353 times so far. So I request all the faculty members and the student to kindly access these books, and these books are the open educational resources in alignment with the UNESCO resolutions. So AICT has also taken a decision. So all these books may be utilized by the institutes, by the students. These are freely download available, and you may use also in the classroom teaching in the text, not only in India, but across the world. Recently, we have conducted one small survey where we have found that our books are accessible in India. I mean, there are more than 1 lakh download of these books and 5 lakh hits of this particular e-Kumbh portal. But at the same time, 47 countries across the world, from Iceland, far away, it's Iceland to Seychelles, then in United States, UK, Canada, New Zealand, Australia. So in most of the African countries, so there are users across the world who are utilizing the benefit of these quality books produced by the All India Council for Technical Education. So with this, I again welcome the eminent resource persons of the today, who is author of the book on Anandam, an act of community service. And we will listen to ma'am and understand the different aspect of this particular book.
Should I start?
Yeah,
My,
ma'am.
nam- my namaskar to all. First of all, I would like to I am really, really very grateful to AICT that gave me the opportunity to introduce this subject and then gave me the opportunity to write a book. And this is my maiden effort, maiden attempt at writing a book. I am really thankful to Mr. Shivasta, Mr. Sanjoy Das, and the whole, the chairman of the AICT, Sas Buddhi ji was earlier at the time, and Punya ji were there. And the whole team of AICT is really doing wonderfully well so far as the availability of the e-literature for technical education on the e-com portal. It is something I think it is only one and only in the world. And as you said, 47 countries are accessing to this the open resource model of the availability of books of AICT. Now I would come to the topic of Anandam. Anandam is not a it is, as you have already briefed about that it's not a technical subject. It is not limited to one subject. It is not limited to mechanical engineering or computer science or electrical engineering or any limited subject. Anandam is basically an effort to make a missing link, the link which is missing between the life and education. Anandam is the link which is joining the life with education. And in fact, the concept had come, the idea of this Anandam came to my mind when I was addressing a very crowd of lecturers only when I joined as Secretary Higher Technical Education in Rajasthan. And it was 2nd October, Mahatma Gandhi Jayanti. And I was speaking, while speaking, I started thinking over this trusteeship, concept of trusteeship, which lays down that we are not the owner of anything in the system. We are, in fact, the trustees of the system. And we are simply, so this was the basic thing which struck my mind at the time. And then even Education Minister was sitting at that conference. And I asked him, why shouldn't we introduce something so that the students of the youth is uh, could know about what is exactly education all about. So while deliberating over this and when I mulled over it with all the intellectuals in under my jurisdiction at that time, all the VCs of the universities, there were 17 universities in Rajasthan at that time, and I discussed this and then made a task force of even your BTU University VC was also there at that time, and Director Polytechnic, and so many from all the fields. In fact, it wasn't limited to technical education. It was touching all the subjects, all the faculties at that time. And then we came down to that all the deliberations boiled down to making a subject, so that and that subject, that too, it should be evaluated subject to be introduced in all the disciplines of this, whether it is management, whether it is simply humanities or technical education. So in Rajasthan, Anandam has been introduced for all the disciplines. And this Anandam, in nutshell, as I said, because as a parent, as an administrator, as a parent, as a child, I always had felt that there is something missing in our education system, which should be somewhere. We should plug that link. And what was that? And that I came down to concretize a subject in the form of Anandam. And it was because there are all sorts of students in the education system. There are brilliant students, there are average students, and these categories we have made through examination and evaluation system. Those who get more than 90%, they are brilliant, and those who get 70 to 90%, they are A or B plus category, and below that they are B, C, D. And what I felt is, when 80% of the students are average or below average, then it means there is uh, something missing in our system, in our evaluation system, so that this should be in fact corrected. So I thought that why not these students should interact with the should have an interact with the community, and then they should know the problems of the community and then try to solve the problems. So what is missing in our education system, as I started my book also, Ya Vidya Sa Vimuktaye. The main purpose of education is Vimukti. Vimukti means your evolution to the fullest. As we study about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the highest is self-actualization need. So when self-actualization is missing, then somewhere the creativity and imagination part of the individual is dampened. It is not given the scope to express out. So it should have been introduced in our education system, and thanks to new education policy also focuses at making the education holistic. This new education policy is emphasizing the creativity, the imaginative ability, the innovativeness of those faculties of the student, which should be used and which should come out as a part of the education. So Anandam is not a very technical subject. It has been picked up from day-to-day life. I made this this Anandam course I bifurcated it in two parts to understand. The two parts is, in fact, what I feel is, when you don't interact with your inner world, then you feel some vacuum inside. And everyone, I think everyone whosoever sitting here, they must be knowing there is something. We are not using our abilities which are hidden inside. The abilities to create, abilities to imagine, the kindness, the sharing, the love. These abilities are not being used, and then one feels frustrated that your creative abilities are not being used, and these are not being expressed. And once these imagination and creative abilities are not expressed, one feels frustrated. So Anandam has been conceived as a source of happiness also. Anandam has been conceived as a source of giving fullness to the education. Anandam has been conceived uh, as a source of building a more human, more kind, more loving, and more caring students, individuals. So one part of Anandam I kept is that relates to interaction with your inner world. I haven't introduced any kind of meditation, because these things become very difficult to be implemented in the colleges, in the universities, where the faculty is limited. Then you will have to hire some experts on that. So to interact with the inner world, I kept the provision of Anandam diary. In Anandam diary, the student will be writing every day. Every day he will be recording his or her good deed. Good deed is a very, very um, wide term, and the good deed and related to even environment, or related to helping the animals, or helping your peer group, helping the mothers, parents, or any person who is unable to any especially abled persons. Any kind of goodness, any kind of kindness uh, related deeds are to be recorded in the diary every day. So by this, what will happen? The student will be observant about what goodness I have inside, that will be tapped and in the form, and then this goodness will evolve every day. When one will be recording this in diary, Anandam diary, So he will be observing his or her goodness inside, and it will be expressed outside, and gradually the individual will feel starting, he will start feeling that yes, I am also good. So that confidence, the self confidence is generated. I am a good person, I am a human person, I am a kind person, I am a loving person, I am a caring person, I share, I love sharing. He would come to know that he really wants to love, give love to those who need it. He really wants to share with the persons who are deprived of something. He really wants to help others. He really wants, and then his ego is boosted. His goodness inside gets evolves him into a good human being. So that diary will he will be or she will be writing every day in the diary the good deeds. I have kept a provision when I conceived Anandam, and the way it has been introduced in Rajasthan is that every day there should be a Anandam period. If it is not every day, it depends on the availability of time. It depends absolutely on the head of the institute that how would Anandam be accommodated in the timetable, in the curriculum. But it will be good. It is in the interest of the students, it is in the interest of everyone, the whole society, that such things should be discussed. At least a compulsory period should be there, and this period it's not necessary that it is 40-45 minutes period. The students don't need preaching from any side. They would say that, ma'am, we did today this. I helped there was a widow lady at my door, and she was very poor. I gave food to her. Anything like that. I was coming by bus. I saw a blind person. He was standing. I gave my seat to him and made him and gave the seat to him. So these little goodnesses will encourage the humanity inside. That is the part of Anandam diary. And the teacher who is taking the class of Anandam, as I conceived Anandam, is it can be extended period of any subject. If it is a period of chemical engineering, an extension of 15-20 minutes can be kept up for discussing the Anandam diary. It will be called Anandam period, and even the faculty will feel very good about it. That see the so much goodness inside the students. So a positive view about the students is formed, and that is the one part. The other part is, and that is not evaluated part in Rajasthan, the way I have conceived it is not evaluated part. It is simply compulsory, and it has to be discussed so that a goodness, environment of goodness is formed, built inside, and the positivity is gradually encouraged in the personality itself, in the surroundings also. The other is the community service project. The community service project is done by group of 10-12 students, 8-10 students, depending on the topic of the project, and the whole class will be divided, and the students themselves will be picking the topic. They will be picking the topic out of their sensitivity towards the community problem. Community problem is a very wide. It can be related to environment, it can be related to making your campus green, it can be related to providing looking to the scarce supply of water inside the campus. It can be anything, and it can be beyond the campus to the in the slums, in the village, in the hamlet, in some small mohalla, or some group of people, some old age people, some spastic children. It can be anything. The group of the students will deliberate over the problem, what they would like to take up as a project, and then they will write a synopsis over it, which the synopsis I have already elaborated in my book. How would the synopsis be written? The synopsis will be covering the targeted beneficiaries of the project, the area of the project, and what problem they would like to discuss with the community, and how would they try to solve it, the procedure. And that synopsis will be first off, they will have to submit synopsis, and after that they will start working over the project, and they will go to the community or village or whatever topic they have taken. Like in Khetan Polytechnic College, Rajasthan here, they took up a small patch of mm, a deserted land in the campus itself. Khetan has a huge campus, and they developed it in they discussed, that students interacted, and the mentor was also very good, and they interacted and they discussed how to make it a fertile uh, patch of the land. They planted the trees, they developed it, they cleaned it, they planted the trees, and then they how the water supply will be there. They developed the rainwater harvesting system there, and supply of water by what is called Israeli method of drip irrigation, that type of. So they are using all their faculties of innovation, the creativity, their engineering skills they are learning, and they have formed really, it is there in Khetan Polytechnic. They have turned that patch of land into a green herbal garden, a small patch. So this is one example. Similarly, one can go for the blood donation camp, blood donation. So blood donation they can do, they can form a group for those who are interested in giving blood, and they can organize blood donation. So many things can be done. Suppose somebody wants to work in Anganwadi. I have given the example here. Here, Apex University has taken up an Anganwadi. Now what they are doing there, they are developing Nutri garden there. They have planted seeds and tree, and they are also interacting with the children. They are interacting with the pregnant ladies there. They are in Anganwadi, all the it caters to the deprived section of the society. So they are doing that, and they are so happy while giving all these facility, and while discovering their own hidden potential of creating and creating solutions for the public. They are so happy. So this is another example of group project. So group project is evaluated also in Rajasthan. I have kept it evaluated project. And in fact, Anandam is a graded subject in Rajasthan University curriculum. So the method of evaluation also I have discussed in the book. The method of evaluation, I have emphasized that there should not be introduction of any competition between the projects. All the projects the students pick up, they are all very important, and there should not be any this project is inferior, this is better, and unnecessarily then the problems of jealousy and rivalries crop up. So I have avoided that. All the projects. Then I have kept a provision of Anandam Day. Every month there will be Anandam Divas. How would we know that really the students are doing the project or not? On Anandam Day, every month when it will be there, the students will be expressing what they have done in the field, whether it is in the campus, whether they have done something in the classroom, beautification of classroom, or they have gone to some basti, or they have gone to some village, or what they have done, how have they interacted with the community, why have they picked up the problem of that particular problem of the community, what they have understood about the community. They would if they have picked some dialectical words from the community, they would be discussing that. So on Anandam Day, they will express what they have done in the field. They will express through Nukkad Natak. It can be some poetry, it can be through folk songs, or anything like that. And that Anandam Day, the colleges are free to invite some administrative officer from there, or some good philanthropist, so that they can interact with them. The students have an opportunity to interact with them, and they can understand. They can understand if there are some problems while doing the project. That will be discussed. So it will be a good scope for expression of the inner feelings of the students. So every month there will be Anandam Day, and in a semester the project will be completed, and it will be evaluated by a committee, evaluation committee, which the heads of the institute are free to form. I would like that there should be some some eminent person from NGO also, so that a right kind of perspective about the project report evaluation can be done. So this is Anandam as a subject, and I'm thankful to AICT. AICT introduced this as a subject as a part of second year polytechnic curriculum. But I would like to take this opportunity, as AICT senior officers are sitting here. This subject is not limited to polytechnic only, and this subject has really a very wide vision, and it aims at evolving the humanity among the students, and making our students a better leader, proactive, positive leaders. So this can be introduced for all the disciplines in the engineering colleges, or whether these are MBA management courses or some other courses. And this is going to, the background of Anandam is that the necessity of Anandam, introducing Anandam, is that we are every day noticing the increasing criminality in the society, increasing frustration, increasing mental disorders among the youth. And as from our Kota Coaching Institute, every week, I think there is at least one suicide. So these suicidal tendencies, these frustrations, and if these frustrations are tackled uh, with right in right direction, then these things can be solved. These things can be at least stopped. Gradually, Anandam will make the student a good human being, a proactive leader, and this negativity, the tendency of cribbing, the tendency of taking negative decisions, these need to be checked. And I thought that Anandam subject really gives the scope for the education institute, for any education system, to make the students involved with the life, understand the problems of the deprived, and then taking a good view about himself or herself, and boosting his or her own the ego, and to defrustrate the students, and making the students more happy. And students are of course the main backbone of the society, and if our students, if our youth are happy, then we can always visualize a very happy and positive society. This is what and now I am open to the questions if there are any. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, madam, uh, uh, for taking us into a detailed insight of the very good book authored by you onto such a subject which remained untouched for such a long time. And undoubtedly, the content of the book and the sequential order of the activities assigned into the book, as you mentioned, the very first activity is Anandam Diary, and subsequent the community service projects. So I really believe into this practice. This is very much a proven theory of science. Also, I would like to mention from the bit of knowledge that I carry from my school days. There is a concept of induction theory. If you
Yes.
want to transfer the properties of or characteristics of one metal into another, for example, I would say
Yes.
magnet, an iron piece can be converted into a magnet
Yes.
simply by if we keep rotating the simple iron piece into
Yes.
the around the magnet, then gradually it attains the properties of the
Of
magnetism.
magnetism.
So
Yes.
this is exactly the alignment of alignment of field in physics terms. It is alignment of fields actually. So
Yes.
those fields are aligned and they are in line with the magnet, and the simple iron piece also gets aligned. Like what I mean to say that really there is one proverb of English that I had read in my school days. Again, I would correlate here: money begets money. If you want to earn money, you need to start with the money. Like
Yes.
that, to spread goodness, you have to talk of goodness. There has to be a conducive environment around you, and a goodness is to be thought of, considered of, and goodness is to be appreciated. So what you say that penning down the good acts into the diary, that again is exactly a proven fact, a scientifically proven fact. So really appreciate. And subsequent to that, when we are moving ahead, community service at all. Obviously, community service one cannot do simply by thinking that I would like to do charity. Only thinking wouldn't do. I must be possessing those traits. There has to be that strong will and feeling. Simply by thinking, we may think of, we may be desirous of doing so many good things, exactly, but we become lazy ultimately because we haven't inculcated strong wills, like strong characters into ourselves, exactly to deliver what we are thinking. So, one more Sanskrit sukti I would like to quote is Vidya Vivadaya Dhanam Madaya Shakti Parisham Paripidhanaya Kalasya Sadhor Vipreetametat Jnanaya Danaya Charakshanaya.
Parpidana.
Whatever you have achieved is to be
Hmm.
used for good cause, for goodness.
Yes.
That is the ultimate objective, is to be
Yes.
used for good cause. Not like the rascals also having so many things. They are wealth, but they are utilizing that just to torture others.
Yes.
Even if they are knowledgeable, they will, discuss, argue into futile things. So
Yes.
there is no use of such knowledge. If you are a learned scholar, then spread it, spread the goodness, let others learn from you. That should be
Yes.
the objective, and that is the sign of a gentleman. So, with a great hope, undoubtedly the content of the book are such, they must have appealed our authorities. And that is the reason the book has been adopted for
Yes.
diploma level students. And undoubtedly, we are very much hopeful that the objective with which the book has been written, the book is certainly going to transform the students, going to produce the students, great human beings who, after going through the contents and the practices enshrined into the book, will certainly prove to be good human beings. That's the ultimate objective. So enough has been said by you, madam. That was simply I just wanted to add. So as you yourself said that the session is now open for question and answer session. So people who have joined us, if have any queries, any suggestions, are welcome, please. They can raise
Yes.
their hands either or can write into the chat box. Thank you.
It's a really good, ma'am, to listen about the book, and definitely, all of us are very much hopeful that if our users goes through the content, definitely there will be lots of harmony and other things in the society itself. So, if any participant has any query, please do raise your hand or just write in the chat box so that we can unmute you.
This is need of the hour, in fact, and this is high time we should introduce such subjects, and we should give enough weightage to the subject. This is
Any participant has any query, I request you to kindly raise your hand so that we can unmute you. And to the information to all again, this book is available for free download at AICT eCombo portal. We are also giving the URL of the portal in the chat box so that you can access this particular book from there.
here in Rajasthan. I got very positive response from the students. Students were really excited. In fact, they really need a vent to express their hidden potential, to help others, to create something for others. So the whole Anandam is, otherwise there is NSS also. NSS has a very limited scope, no doubt it's very good, but it is only 25%, 10-25% student adopt that. But this Anandam is with diary and with Anandam Divas and with the community service project of all sorts. It it has a much wider scope than that. Are there questions?
Yeah, basically in totality, the project need to be adopted and book will act as a facilitator in the
Yes,
process
it
of
is a
adoption.
facility. Yes, it is a guidebook only. And in fact, I have kept it as guidebook just because I don't want to interfere. I have full faith in the creativity of others. Why should I restrict their imagination? What I believe, what I imagine, they should also limit it to those projects only. No, It has, they can from A to Z, they can pick up any project which gives the expression to the creativity and which gives the, the expression to the imagination of the student. So this is, it should not be restricted. The creativity should not be restricted. This is what I believe. So I have kept it very open-ended kind of a thing.
So you will concluding remarks.
There are no questions.
Yeah, there is no question.
Actually,
So no
the
problem.
subject is so simple and so widely accepted once. Obviously,
It has been, yes. Exactly,
yeah.
it has been widely accepted. Wherever I discussed this, nobody said that it's a foolish idea. Nobody said. Here also, when
Even
I
kindness,
discussed,
yeah.
here
Kindness
is,
is widely accepted concept
yeah,
actually. We all are considerate from the core heart of ours. We all, if something, something, have somewhere, something wrong happens. Okay, then we are all pained if some misery takes place in society or around us. A latest example, recently there was a devastating earthquake
yes,
into
yes,
Turkey,
yes,
right?
yes,
So we were all, shaken. We were
yes,
so painful, like
yes,
we were so much in pain, and we realized, we felt that. So human beings are considerate actually by nature. Actually, what is happening? We are not grooming that characteristics of ours.
yes.
We are
And
not
this has to be
practicing that.
groomed.
Simply the
Uh,
matter of practice, actually.
Empathy has to be evolved.
Yeah, it has to be
Empathy
evolved,
questions
obviously.
has to be evolved
Yeah, yeah.
to
Yes, ma'am.
make, so this is very, very necessary.
Yes, ma'am. So, to
We can
just
talk.
conclude today's discussion, I would request my colleague, Dr. Sanjay Das, for presenting vote of thanks, please.
Thank you very much, Tiwari. It's indeed a very noble introduction. And the moment, the right kind of moment that book has been introduced into AICT curriculum is really a tough time for students when everybody is moving through so much frustrations, peer pressures, then parental expectations. As you, ma'am, rightly pointed out, that quota witnessed so much of distress and that extreme step that students are taking. So this book definitely going to give fillip to those students. And one say like we run machines, but humans cannot become machines themselves. So we need good human being also. Altogether, we have to grow as a whole society. The holistic development is much required. So this kind of book is going to definitely help those students. In fact, you rightly pointed out that not only this diploma, but other UG also, we should adopt this kind of activities, books and Anandam, the community works. Ultimately, as a society, as a nation, as a world, we have to think of, not as an individual, machines and all like that. So thank you very much, ma'am. It's indeed a great work that you have done. And definitely we hope, not only hope, we believe that this book going to help lots of students and altogether parents also to come out of this difficult times and give our best to the educations, moving ahead with the society, peer group, friends, colleagues, family members. So it's definitely a great deed that you have done. We are very much grateful to you, and we also will be also liking to us that participants take much ahead this work and also implement these works in their campus life. So thank you very much, ma'am, and thank you all participants for being with us. It's a nice.
One thing I would like to add, this Anandam projects, the community service projects would also enhance their employability. And even for the higher, if they want to go for some higher education for some good institutes, their projects would help in getting good university admissions in good universities and also getting good employment, because the people in any company, people prefer real leaders, real proactive leaders, collaborative leaders, empathetic leaders. And when they would discuss about, yes, we interacted in the community and we tried to solve this problem and we did that, and this is going to really give them more marks than those who are not doing that.
Yes, ma'am, you're correct. So definitely a good time that we have with us, with you, that kind of book that you have shared with us.
Again, I would request you to make it for all the, though the book is already there, but if it goes for other UG subjects also, UG disciplines also, then it would be better. Limiting it to diploma, here in Rajasthan it is already there in diploma. It is already there. In all the semesters of diploma it is there. So it can be, means we should give some marks to humanity, this creativity, humanity, empathy, and this is the only way we can give marks to that. Thank you so much for giving me the
Thank you
opportunity.
so much, ma'am.
Thank you
So
so
we are
much.
we are concluding the session with a remark from the participant, Dr. Parasuram Singh, that Anandam will play a very nice role in our
Oh.
country. So
Oh.
thank you so much, ma'am, for
Thank you so
your
much.
time, and we are hopeful that this particular book will going to support lots of things, especially to the empathy and other things in our
Yes,
country.
yes.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much.
Namaskar.
Thank you. Namaskar.